Peace Center for their efforts in media literacy.
You think ground news that will ever like encounter me and like break me down? Local reactor hoodie dude. Homeless bum idiotic stupid reactor hoodie dude. Why this is the scariest predator of all time. Fellas, I just farted. Hold on, let me redo the intro. Why this is the scariest predator of all time. Fellas, we're back with some more casual geographic. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I am a bit late. 4 days late, Cuddy. In YouTube terms, it's basically a year. So, but hey, I'm here now. Better late than never. And off rip, what is the context of this bird, bruh? Why this bird got an egg like that? Ugh. But let's get straight to it, because we're talking about the scariest predator of all time. Now, I want to make my predictions. What is it's going to be like, the scariest predator of all time? I'm going to take this serious, okay? No Roblox dev jokes, no EDP jokes, Dr. Disrespect jokes, no Epstein jokes. The scariest predator of all time, bruh. Low-key, I would say, I think tigers are pretty horrifying. No. What's another predator? I feel like tigers are way too easy. Or like the saber-toothed tigers are horrifying, bro. He's going to mention the T-Rex. How do you watch? It's going to be a bunch of glaze in the T-Rex. Hold on, lock in.
Some animals very clearly got the middle finger from evolution.
He pisses. Oh my gosh. Ugh.
This is the portrait of privilege. There is no animal that's gotten more green lights from God than a bulletproof, sawtoothed, predatory sledgehammer with hyperintelligence, parkour prowess,
and just like that, 13 seconds in, fellas, I was wrong.
And the ability to cry
okay, we're good.
Sleep like Captain America. Yeah, that menace is alive. Find out if you want to. Brumation's pretty much hibernation for reptiles. Basically a built-in power save mode for animals that already don't use much of it. But it means this is an apex predator that can survive a fate with Elsa. Cause gators and the like can survive a winter in a frozen pond by turning their metabolism all the way down.
Dude, that's actually horrifying. Like imagine being like a little kid ice skating out in a local pond and you come across this creature, dude. What are y'all doing?
Where they'll just stick their snouts above water and leave the rest under the ice where it's actually warmer until fate decides to defrost them.
Kicking them.
Mind you, brumations not sleep, and gators will move around on days when it's warmer.
Bro, what the hell, bro? Like, what are you... Whatever.
But it also means this ill-mannered iceberg can probably sense you walking past it, thanks to another superpower we'll get into later. So you're gonna learn that not only is the mame gecko the most disrespectful addition to the food web, it is humanity's greatest predator. And whatever Oppenheimer felt when Hiroshima got hit with a massacre mushroom isn't even 1% of the regret felt by whoever unleashed an armor-plated equalizer onto Earth. But real quick, I'm gonna be saying crocodiles for most of this video, but a lot of this applies to crocodilians as a concept. I cannot express how much every part of a crocodile's body is designed to author your obituary.
Even the dick?
And that includes its walnut-sized brain. Because crocodiles are intelligent on a level—
I thought he was gonna mention the walnut-sized nuts.
Well, that should deeply disturb you. Both mugger crocodiles and American alligators will lure birds in by using sticks and twigs as bait to snatch their souls.
Okay, I ain't gonna lie. If you're a bird or an animal and you fall for this bait, you kind of deserve it, Cuddy. Like, bro thinks we don't see him, Cuddy. Like, bro, I'm not even playing for real. I'm not even hiding. You just gassing it up, Cuddy. Bro. Like, I see you, Cuddy. You're not slick, bro. If a bird or an animal ever sees this and thinks this is like intriguing, you deserve it, Cuddy. He didn't even try, bro. Like, you deserve to die. I'm sorry, Cuddy. Hey, survival of the fittest, big dog.
That would already be bad enough, without the implication. The implication is that Satan's Snaggletooth stapler is able to take seasonality into account, since they're aware enough to pull this in the middle of nesting season. They're like Batman.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. Maybe I don't think the crocodile is that smart, low key. It's just the lobbies they're in are kind of dumb, Cuddy. Like, what are we doing here, bro? What are we doing here, gang? Hold on. Like, bro. I don't see him, Cuddy. Damn. Or where could he be? Shoot, bruh. Damn. Loki, I think the lobbies is just trash, but continue.
The revelation is that the dinosaur time left behind will hunt as a pack, with scientists watching a group of crocs swimming in a circle around a shoal of fish, making the circle tighter and tighter until the fish were forced into a bait ball, just for the chompy boys to take turns cutting across the center of the circle to get their share of fish. There's another example where a massive saltwater crocodile scared a pig into running into a lagoon, where it was immediately jumped by two smaller crocs waiting. Now, the implication there is somehow the giant salty knew exactly what direction to force the pig. Crocs have been doing this, it's just as expert Vladimir Dene will tell you, it's incredibly difficult to study an animal that does its damage in the water. Because if you're in the water studying hunting crocodiles, chances are they're also studying you, and their thesis statement is your headstone engravement.
What if they have like a metal rock and just put it underwater and that's how they determine it?
Vlad has put in over 3,000 hours of watching crocs, and has witnessed things like a stronger, heavier croc driving fish to shore, with smaller, more agile teammates hawking cornered fish.
Does that mean he watched crocodiles fuck?
Now you might ask, how do the crocs share their victims? And
oh, wait. Mr. Geographic, how do alligator or crocs share their victims?
honestly, that might be more unsettling than how they murk them.
Why?
Chris Campbell was a contractor for the Okefenokee Wildlife Reserve, which meant over a decade of watching what a neighbor gator's capable of. One day he showed up to work with 60-something gators posted up by the boat docks. What he described were two groups of gators, one in the semicircle formation driving fish to the shallows and using the boats to corner them, and the other group in the background resting, or more like waiting. Because whenever a gator from the hunting party caught a fish, he'd immediately retire to the waiting group, and one of the waiting crocs would sub in and take his place.
Oh, that's
this went on for
horrifying.
hours
That's actually
until
really
it got hot
cool.
enough for them to clock out and go their ways. But when Campbell went back the next morning, like clockwork, the morning crush was still there. Same time, same place, same agenda.
they got
That's
shifts?
a level of teamwork and
That's
foresight
cool.
most people aren't willing to accept from a prehistoric snapshot.
Bro, he is cooked. But I didn't know crocodiles could have like teamwork like this, bro. Why they got better teamwork than my ranked teams, gang? Let me chill out, bro.
But your ignorance ain't bliss. In fact, it's what sustains them. In many spots in Africa and Australia, people are warned never to get water from the same place more than once, and definitely not past twice.
Really?
It's because crocodiles will memorize patterns and clock your daily routine, and getting too predictable around a professional camper means the croc will take note, just to ambush you the next chance they get.
I've
And
seen
they'll
this
use
video,
very
buddy.
little energy to do it. It's also why studying them is like edging death. Choose the same spots repeatedly, and at best, the croc notices and avoids you with no regard for your research. And at worst, Senor Snappy studies your habits enough to put a halo around your head. That's a real PhD, which makes the crocodile a gift-wrapped FU to any creature of habit, and why the most dangerous
You're
kind
walking
of croc
closer to it?
is
Can you
actually the
look? Oh, hell no, bruh. I wonder how many urban legends were like made from like crocodiles back in like the olden times of like, not cavemen, but like before the times like social media and we really knew what was going on. How many urban legends of there were like of a Leviathan size like alligator in this local pond? I really want to know.
investigate.
Oh my goodness.
We get older, a lot of times we feel certain doors closed to us.
Right. Anyways.
But if you watch this video, you could be the smartest thing missing a spine. You'll still be a living doormat if you don't have the hardware to back it up. And no animal has more disrespectful hardware than a motion-activated bear trap.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Motion activated bear trap. Could he can detect my motion, bro? I'm chilling.
The crocodile is the most physically unfair predator on Earth because virtually every body part has been expressly designed to flatline you. They have the strongest recorded bite force of any animal at 3,700 pounds per square inch.
Okay, what does that compare to?
Making its jaw a steel trap, capable of damage on par with victims of war. But maturing's realizing it's the teeth as much as the jaw. Sharks have serrated teeth to slice through prey. Crocs have death cones designed to keep prey in its custody.
Oh, so we
Meaning
can't-
if a leather
okay.
log bites you,
He's
you
not
have
letting
the
go.
lowest chance of escape, which gets worse when the croc proceeds to drown you. And with crocs being able to hold their breath for up to 2 hours,
You're
trust
cooked.
that you'll pass tense long before he does. The only thing
Bro, what is the context? What are you doing? Oh my goodness.
with those teeth is they're great for grabbing, useless for chewing. So they'll slam prey into chunks and swallow them whole, which leads to the most broken finishing move of any
The
animal.
body twirl?
The death roll.
The death-
But
yeah, I
crocs
knew it,
also
Cuddy.
have the most acidic stomach of any animal and
Really?
can dissolve bones, horns, and hooves. But they're also bloodbenders with a heart that controls exactly where the blood goes, and a feeding croc will direct blood to its stomach, so the carbon dioxide in it only makes the acid more corrosive. And good luck fighting back when nature made an evolutionary aggro weapon borderline bulletproof. Crocodiles are covered in osteoderms, and armor plating blocks the teeth of other animals from doing damage, which is why there's more than one case of a croc tanking a gunshot, but the nasty work is what you can't see. The scales are said to manipulate water in a way that means a 20-foot problem doesn't make ripples. The osteoderms create countercurrents that cancel out any disturbances.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I think these guys are just dumb. But at the same time, though, Cuddy, that is horrifying. So it doesn't make ripples whatsoever.
in the water, basically cloaking
So
technology,
they're basically creepers.
but in a steroid reptile.
They're creepers, Cuddy.
The same osteoderms can store heat for when it gets too cold and then release it when it's too hot, so they also have a built-in thermostat. There's one more trick under its skin, and it's that when crocs spend all that time underwater, lactic acid starts to build up in them. But because osteoderms are made of mineralized bones, the minerals will slightly dissolve if the acid gets too high, releasing carbonate and bicarbonate ions that neutralize the acid and raise the pH. Crocs are nature's nepo babies. Evolution gave them every cheat possible. And with salties growing up to 20 feet long and pressing the scales at often over 2,000 pounds.
Oh, hell no, bro. I could never do something like this, dog. I could never do something. Who broke my man's arm cutting the Bucky Barnes of the crocodile community? But, bro, I could never do something like this, dog. Like, no way y'all are this nonchalant to a whole alligator right here. I don't care how trained it is. I don't care who we got. It could be the reincarnation of Steve Irwin, bro. I'm not doing that, Cuddy. Bro, I'm scared to ask, but can a crocodile solo a lore-accurate Spinosaurus? You know what? You don't gotta answer that, fellas. Yes, hoodie, shut up.
It's not like they needed more handouts, especially when you realize, except for a tail that stores fat like a camel's hump, crocs are almost all muscle and look like a snake with legs with Kratos' knives for teeth. That tail is a lot stronger than you think, and the same one that can briefly airlift a plus-size predator would absolutely shatter your leg with a direct hit. But there might not be anything more unsettling than crocodiles having probably the most advanced eyes of any animal.
Dang, Cuddy, why every time I hear about these new predators, Cuddy, or animal, they be having, it's like movie trailers, Cuddy, or movies. The #1 movie in America. This is the #1 movie in America. This is the #1 movie in the world. #1 movie in America. And then you got the animal, same thing. This has the best eyes in the animal kingdom. The best eyes in the animal kingdom. The best thermal vision in the animal kingdom. Yada, yada. Who got who, bruh?
Eyes nature put right at the top of their head.
But they look like a BO2 glitch.
Heads, so snappy lads can plot on your life while cosplaying as a log. Eyes that have a protective nictating membrane, so even attacking one of their few weaknesses still requires two-factor authentication. Especially since they can retract their eyeballs.
What?
And like dolphins, crocs can rest half their brain at a time, meaning the pride of Steve Irwin can sleep with one eye open, and studies show they're more likely to do that when they're around humans. Also, they have night vision because of course they do. Of course. And that's
golly, bro, these mugs like the T-Rex of the animal kingdom in 2025, bro. Golly.
Most broken part of their vision. The fovea is a small part of the retina, but it's where vision is the sharpest, and it's what you use when you focus on a specific word on a page, or play Where's Waldo. And when you move your eyes to look at something, got him. That's you putting the
Cuddy, he did get me. Got us to self-serve.
Image on your fovea. The problem is, what is a tiny dot for us is the shape of a skid mark in a crocodile. Having a fat fovea means nature's favorite predator can scan an entire shoreline without moving its head. If you still don't follow, get a book and try to read the entire page without moving your eyes once, and then realize how much of a middle finger this creature's existence is. Especially since the Titanic scale demon has cockroach levels of plot armor.
Really?
Crocodiles can tank freezing cold, extreme heat, radiation, and can live in waters contaminated with heavy metals. And with the diet of a morgue, they're resistant to nastiness like anthrax, cholera, and the most potent substance on Earth.
Y'all smell, Cuddy?
Botulism.
What's
they
botulism?
also have negligible senescence.
Hold on, what's botulism? What is that? Botulism. What is that? Poison caused by toxic produced by bacteria. I don't want to look at no images, Cuddy. Vegetables. You hear this, fellas? Don't eat your vegetables. Don't eat your veggie, Cuddy.
They don't really age the same way most animals do.
Of course
it doesn't make them immortal, but it does mean that they never really stop growing and can easily pass 100.
Obviously, eventually their growth slows to absolutely zero, but it still means their growth rate is indeterminate. Oh my goodness.
In fact, right now, there's a croc that's been alive since 1900.
He ate people, fathered 10,000 babies, and just turned 124. Meet Henry. Bro, why are we giving this? Why are we giving this behemoth, this absolute specimen, Cuddy, the best IO player of all time, this weak ass name of Henry, Cuddy? Cuddy, dude, but that's mine. Shut up. I said what I said, right? Why not like? I don't know, bro. Like, this guy's worthy of, like, one of those names y'all give serial killers, bro. Like, we don't give this animal right here a cool name, but y'all give a random person who targets, like, single mothers of four, like, low-income neighborhoods the name, like, the Jack the Ripper, the Shadow of Mississippi, the Ghost of Panama. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro. But this demon, Cuddy, like, yeah, and I said that with all full connotation. This demon, Cuddy, gets the name Henry. Bro, what are these priorities, bro?
Like the year, which means other than a Greenland shark,
Cuddy chopped.
I don't think there's another predator that can outlive a croc, and with them being nature's favorite, of course some sick muppet made them resistant to cancer.
8.5?
Stronger.
9%?
Yeah.
This is how I was made, fellas. Hoodie Dude is not a real specimen. I am organically bioengineered to make y'all a goon.
9.5% ABV!
Juice Force IPA. Live rangerously.
I'm good, bro. Juice Force. Do you remember Jump Force and how bad it was? I still want to play it.
And many believe it's thanks to their gut, because the gut microbiome is said to be a huge part of your health. And
How did they get this footage? They shove it up its butt?
a crocodile's gut community manages to reverse cancer. An experiment found that their gut bacteria put the brakes on cancer and slowed the growth of cancer-causing cells.
Of course they do.
Basically, it's a cancer to cancer, and now I understand why Buddy from Spider-Man crashed out. Especially since it turns out alligators and crocodiles can regenerate a lost tail.
Really? I don't-
blood also
okay.
throws hands with bad bacteria and can dead diseases like salmonella and staph infections. This thing's built like a Dark Souls boss, and the fact that they can survive several acts of God yet get neutralized by a rubber band around the mouth proves nature has a
crab
sense
can beat 'em,
of
really?
irony. But that's a lot better than getting folded by some of the diseases out there. And there's some stuff that Satan would second guess.
So is it like immune to STDs and gonorrhea?
Your discretion is advised, and this time, I'm so serious. I'm not being cute. If you're queasy and not built for body horror, go here before I ruin your whole day.
Okay,
Your
I'm
lack
ready,
of action
Cuddy.
will be considered consent. I'm just saying. Last chance.
You
can
heard
still-
my mans, Cuddy. You heard my mans. If you don't like no nothing, Cuddy, if you're a pussy. No, I'm playing. Go skip over there.
Go
I'm
back.
ready, Cuddy.
Alright, this is on you. 3, 2, happy
What is that? Cuddy got AIDS? Tumors?
Halloween. I didn't even curse, I did gag a little. This is a deer suffering from papillomavirus, and it's usually not harmful unless you
Cuddy got the Incredibles thing.
value mental health. But it can also cause Lovecraftian rabbits, with those affected seeming to grow tentacles.
Yeah, I knew about this. I think this is where like the jackrabbit, the deer rabbit, whatever the case may be, the one with like the jackalope. That's where this like legend comes from. I knew about that.
And if you live in Colorado, you've definitely seen these jackalopes popping up. And according to this article, the cutaneous quills
just
are
tumors.
caused by the cottontail papilloma virus.
Yeah.
This is the worst thing you can see while a mile high.
Yeah.
Because of the altitude.
Dude, imagine if someone saw that while like off like phenamine or something, dude. LSD just straight tweaking
We
out.
fear most what we can't understand, and sometimes it feels like fear is the only thing stories like these are selling, and how that story is told could be the difference between being informed and building a panic bunker expecting the end of the world. That's where ground news comes in. Because if we're talking about a mutant deer with flesh bubbles for sanity's sake, you better be informed. Their app and website pulls from over 50,000 sources worldwide to give you context about each source's biases, reliability, and ownership.
Really?
It allows you to compare how different
no, he
outlets
did talk
cover
about
the same
this.
story and see where the truth really lies. And with the rabbit story, Ground News shows you over 200 sources and that most of the reporting came from the left or center. If I scroll down, I can see all the articles, and the more sensational headlines that were calling them Frankenrabbits actually came from lower factuality sources. As you can guess, the higher rated outlets were the ones explaining what was going on. The internet's great for showing you things you'd otherwise be blind to, but it's also great for erasing context and mass producing misinformation, which is why Ground News takes the mask off of who's really pushing a story to explain the inexplicable, and Ground News was even recognized by the Nobel Peace Center for their efforts in media literacy.
You think Ground News that will ever like encounter me and like break me down? Local reactor hoodie dude. Homeless bum idiotic stupid reactor hoodie dude. Records in his car. Yeah. Truly, I feel loved.
If you'd like a guide to navigate random rabbit holes, no, not this one. By now, you already know, I partnered with Ground News to get you 40% off the same unlimited access Vantage plan I'm using. Make sure you go to groundnews.com/casualgeo or scan the QR code on screen to subscribe for only $5 a month, so hopefully I will never have to look at that deer again. But you'll
Thank you,
never
Casio.
show a croc with something like that.
Huh.
It just wasn't enough. Nature gave an overachieving iguana the most broken build on the planet. Their abilities would get them banned in any game. Like I said, a crocodile on a stakeout can hold its breath for hours, and alligators can survive a 5-month cold plunge. Low metabolism means they live on power save mode, and it's also why a crocodile can go up to 2 years without eating. God bless the bloke that breaks his fast. It means crocodiles can wait out the times that would surely wipe out anything else, and now you see how an aggressive snout managed to reject the same death that found the dinosaurs. Crocs have been around since Saturn was single and still waiting on a ring, and the fact that they can just suspend animation by putting their life on layaway just proves that they really are the teacher's pet of evolution.
Of
Also,
course.
crocodiles are more than capable of running fast enough to catch you off guard, or at least a Cuban croc will, and this is the one time I wish it were AI. And whoever said you should run away from one in a zigzag is guilty of attempted murder. That is
Really?
the myth that only ups the chance that you trip and go out like a horror movie.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. I thought that myth was true, Cuddy. If I ever ran into a croc, I was gonna run like I was gonna run like some routes, Cuddy. Like I was trying to make it to the league, bro. Dang, bro, my route. Nah, you lying, Casual. I would have cooked them. I ain't go. On my like, who's a good wide receiver, bro? I'm blanking right now, bro. Hey, Cuddy, I'm hurdling on my Saquon type of time, man, Cuddy. That's what I'm finna do. Bro, I would die.
You could climb a tree, except they can do that too.
They can
Because
climb?
honestly, why not? They do everything else. And not only do they climb trees, according to scientists, they do it regularly, with them finding grown adults 10 feet in the trees and juveniles as high as 30. School taught you to be afraid of quicksand and giant Venus flytraps, yet somehow a drop gator was an unmentioned possibility. They can also climb fences. Of every kind. And again, you already know where this was taken. This is flagrantly Floridian. Yeah, I think now's a good
I don't understand how y'all Florida people do it, though. Like, y'all are genuinely insane.
time to mention crocodiles are more related to birds than to a turtle, snake, or a lizard. Meaning,
Birds?
we just barely missed out on this freak being able to fly. Flightlessness aside, another thing they can't do well is see underwater. Their aquavision is actually kind of mid. We're this far into this video and we finally found a weakness.
They
But don't
can't-
get too
okay.
excited because nature overcompensated with something outrageous. Those
What?
pits seasoning the crocodile are pressure sensors, and it's how
Pressure
the ultimate
sensors.
predator can clock the smallest vibrations in the water. It completely erases their lack of water vision. In fact, you could hog tie a croc blindfolded, throw it into a pool, and let a leaky faucet drip on a complete opposite side. The croc will still know exactly where the water's coming from,
That is horrifying.
while you won't know where he is until you wake up at a Tupac concert.
Can you overload its senses, though? Like, imagine, like, 5 Broadwave big, Broadwave queso Dave Blunt-sized dudes, like 6 of them jump at the pool at the same time. Can you overload his senses?
And when murkiness brings the water's visibility to 0, they'll
That's when he's
T-pose,
dangerous, yeah.
spreading their legs and fingers to maximize an already broken ability. And speaking of fingers, their jaws are more sensitive than yours. A dinosaur beast breathing like a nosecave, but let the croc tell it. That's the only demon that's slaying. And I don't know if I said this already, but let's not just walk past the fact that they can regenerate their tails like a starfish's arm. But the thing is, bears are berserker builds on steroids, cats are 4-legged fur ninjas, and orcas are the most cerebral serial murkers on the planet. What is it about this semi-aquatic bioweapon that makes me confidently call them the scariest predator on Earth? Oh, simple. They're a predator's predator. Is there a single
Really?
predator
They
that
eat-
generates
okay.
more anxiety in other predators? Even
EDP.
cheetahs aren't fast enough to cheat death in the hit range of the reptile. And the king of the jungle gets a severe vibe check when they're out of their element. Not to mention, crocodiles will savage sharks to the point where many believe bull sharks actively avoid them. The crocodile is the worst kind of predator, one with zero prejudice, which makes them a massive threat
Ah!
to the most successful predator of all time.
Let me get you a cold one. Try one of these. That is the best buffalo wing in the county.
I immediately come back from taking a massive poo, and I get hit with an ad.
Eat buffalo? No, it's just chicken. It was invented in Buffalo.
Dude, this is so funny, so hilarious. This really makes me want to buy their... Fuck off, man. God, I'm in a bad mood now, Cuddy.
The thing, when a lion, tiger, or bear becomes a man-eater, it usually means something's wrong and they can't hunt their normal prey. Polar bears and
Cuddy tweaking, bro. Hey, bro, chill.
Komodo dragons are famously less picky, but their home base is so remote that most people will never
Never
have to
encounter
worry
them, yeah.
about them. Not only do crocodiles practice the worst kind of equality,
They're near people.
basically everywhere. It's not that they actively go after
Don't
humans,
worry, it's a dummy. I don't think it makes it better, Casual Geographic. My stomach hurts now.
just that they genuinely don't care, which is why it's the crocodile that turns more humans into hashtags than any other large predator by a lot, and considering
Really?
how and where they do it, that number could easily be higher. Even if you don't get killed by a crocodile, there's plenty of psychological damage that comes from being targeted by one. In 2003, 2 Australian teenagers spent 22 hours trapped in a tree while being stalked by a 13-foot crocodile
That is
below.
horrifying,
The entire night
dude.
was the two keeping each other awake so they wouldn't fall in. To make it even worse, thanks to a flood, the waters kept rising, and the croc seemed to taunt the two by showing off the body of the third friend it had already caught.
What the fuck?
The two would be saved, but only by helicopter. Cause really, what else can you do in
Dude,
that
yeah.
situation? Well, they didn't get it as bad as Ryan. The New Zealander also got stalked by a croc almost as big as the 20-foot kayak he was traveling in and held captive on Governor Island, where the predator repeatedly made his presence known. 2 weeks with limited food and water and a 20-foot undertaker that would chase him every time he tried to leave, and Ryan was hanging on by only a thread by the time he was rescued. That's the horror of being hunted by the greatest sit-and-wait predator of all time, cause time is their greatest resource.
What's your next move? You know what? I'm boxing the gator. No, low-key, I don't know what my next move would be. It probably would be die.
You'll never have more of it than they do. And the fact that the big ones can go a year or more between meals and do their dirty work in murky water makes a man-eating crocodile the most difficult kind to deal with. Gustav was a Nile crocodile believed to be 20 feet long and well over 2,000 pounds. Believed because despite allegedly putting 300 people in past tense and being repeatedly shot, the serial killer croc was never officially caught. And despite reports of his death, because he was believed to have hatched in the 50s, there's a small but legitimate chance he's still out there, biding his time, just waiting for someone to wander close enough to become 50 Shades of Prey.
Cause he became a creepy pasta bit.
You never see them until it's too late, and once you do, you might not see them for another year. It's a self-cloaking carnivorous convict that the land before time left behind. This is the scariest predator on Earth. But of course, it's just an animal doing what comes naturally. They're not evil, just forged by millions of years of character development and mass extinctions. It's not hard to see why Steve Irwin wrote so hard for them, and I wouldn't be doing Khaki Jesus justice if I convinced you to hate them. Now, with that much respect, and a very healthy helping of fear, because moral of the story, always beware the old man in a game where men die young. And you always beware the landlord of Croc Country, because you'll never know when rent's due.
Hey, you cook with that script, Casual Geographic. Hey, Cuddy, fear the old man and the young man. Hey, Cuddy, hey, he was cooking with that script, bruh. But, bro, that is actually horrifying. Like, oh my goodness. How many, like, crocodiles do you think I can take before I get overran? Crocodiles are the small ones, right? How many do I can, like, take? I don't know. But, fellas, that's crap of today's video. If you like the video, I don't really care. Shout out Casual Geographic and shout out the big gator, buddy. Shout out the big alligators, bro. But fellas, I don't know. If you're watching this video, I'm probably streaming, so you should probably check it out. If you don't want to, go fuck yourself. Now I'm playing. Love y'all. Peace. Bye.